Hi, welcome back to Winter's Thoughts. Today I am going to be doing kind of a beauty blender comparison. Now this is I have the box somewhere around me. I'm so prepared. Can you see it? The London, Soho, New York Beauty Sponge. That's this. It's been washed, so it's a little bit faded. You can see it's a little bit tore up a little bit because I've been using them for a while, but I didn't want to. And this is the regular. Not as much damage to this one, but this is the regular beauty blender. It's a little bit like a boob. I don't know why. It just does. Anyway, so I'm comparing the two. First of all, I've already tried the Sonia Kashuk one. Sonia Kashuk, am I saying that right? Kashuk one. The Ulta one. And another one that I got from Walgreens that I cannot remember the name of. But anyway, I've tried a lot of different beauty sponges trying to find a dupe or a comparison. One that was even worth comparing to the Beauty Blender. As we all know, the Beauty Blender has an amazing squishiness to it. It is so soft and lovely to use on your face. I'm not even a sponge person. If you were going to give me a choice between my hands, using my hands, I want to keep my hands, but using my hands, a sponge or a beauty blender, I would always, or I'm sorry, a brush. I would always go for the brush. I'm a brush person. I like brushes. I like the finish it gives me. Sometimes, if I feel like I have one of those foundations and it just doesn't get blended in well with a brush, I will go over it with this and kind of tap it in. But I don't have that happen too often. I'm usually really pretty good with my brushes, so I'm just kind of a brush girl. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to find out, the comparison and find if there was anything worth. Obviously, this is going to be the one kind of worth it, right? Because it's the one in the video. But, if anything was worth giving up the Beauty Blender for. Now, let me say straight off, they are not a dupe. There is no, and they don't look the same. See, they're not the same shape. They're not even kind of the same color. This is lighter pink. They're not the same density. This one's much firmer. It's kind of like the density of a marshmallow. You know how they're kind of firm but squishy? And this is like, I don't know, like nothing I've ever squished before. It's just super soft. Not even gonna say what my son said, but anyway, it's a very soft sponge. But so now I've seen people use this, compare this one to this one and be like, oh, it was really hard to get my foundation on with this. Now, just turn it on its side, kind of put your fingers like this and kind of use this part right here. It works just like the bottom of the Beauty Blender. It just, you just tap it along. It works the same. Now I did one side of my makeup with, well, I'm super bright here, sorry. But one side of my makeup with one of these, with this one, and one side with the Beauty Blender. You cannot tell the difference. They did the exact same thing. They both put my makeup on perfectly fine and blended it in well, and no streaks, no nothing. A pretty good airbrushed finish. What do I like about this one that I don't as much about this one is that this one, when I grab a powder here, my eyes water a ton. Like this eye especially, for some reason. I have no idea why. I've gone to the eye doctor. They say there's nothing wrong with my eyes, but for some reason this eye, and it could be a sinus thing, waters incessantly. So sometimes I'll get this like little spot right here where all my makeup's kind of washed off. Well, this one, I just take it and I put it in that little tip and I stick it in there, and I can get exactly spot on where I need to go, and then just tap it in. And I don't even have to tap it in most of the time. It's damp right now though. So wonderful for around your nose, anywhere that you need to get a tiny, just over a pimple that you just need to get that little powder over, like the concealer you put on, just that dot. Wonderful for that. It's great. These little tips on it are so nice and precise. Wonderful. The Beauty Blender's, you know, it's got the little tip too, but it's also got this like kind of fatness around it. So you kind of have to like squeeze it down and try to get, you know, in there with it, like, so it doesn't like, you know, like I don't want it to hit my highlighter here when I'm trying to just get the one little spot, you know. But it works fine. I just think that this one works a little better for, you know, powder. This does work better for foundation. I'm not going to lie to you. This one has, it's softer. It's so gentle on your face. It feels good to use. It makes the foundation look beautiful. I mean, if you like a sponge, this is definitely the best sponge. I mean, it just is. But if you don't want to spend $20 or 25 for two, I think it's 25 for two now. You can get this for, I think I saw it for $4.97 at Walmart. So $5, and this sponge works. It's not as soft, but it does the same job. And then you also have the added benefit of the little corners being so precise for, you know, like little touch-ups and, you know, things that you want to get real precise with makeup-wise to powder over. Like I said, if you have like a little pimple and you just put a little concealer over it, you just want to put powder over that and you don't have a brush handy, or you just don't want to pull out one of your makeup brushes to dirty it up, you just dip this in the powder and just pop right over it, and it's very precise. It doesn't, you know, doesn't get your whole face. And this one you can do that too. You just kind of have to squish it down, you know, a little bit. And it's a little bit softer, so it doesn't put quite as much. Like this one, when you put it on the, you know, the pimple, it puts that powder on there. This one's a little softer, so it doesn't put it on there as firmly. It doesn't pack it on there as well. So I do like this better for powder, and I would probably always keep this in my arsenal for powder because I really enjoy it for that. This one, if I wanted a sponge for a foundation, I would reach for this. If I was going to use a sponge for foundation. Honestly, this is the better of the two for your face for foundation. It feels better. Not so much that it does a better job, it just plain out feels better. But this one would do the job if you don't want to spend the $20 or the $12.50 if you're buying a 2-pack. For this, and you just want to spend a couple bucks, $4, $5 for this, then, you know, it's not gonna be that big of a loss to you, is what I'm saying. This one does a very good job. It's not as soft, but it's not like the Sonia Kashuk one where you're like beating your face, you know, with a rock. That one was horrible. So even the Ulta one was kind of firmer and not as bad as the Sonia Kashuk one. That was the worst one I've ever used. But, you know, but this one is still soft enough. Like I said, it's kind of like if you took a marshmallow and put it against your face. It's not, you know, it's not going to hurt you any. I mean, depends on how much you squeeze it. You know, if you squeeze it to the point it's hard, then yeah, it's going to be. But if you just gently, you know, turn it and it's still very comfortable, and it does a really good job. So for $5 with tax and all that jazz, this sponge, the Soho sponge, does a very good job and is definitely worth the money. And like I said, I'm going to keep it just for powder alone. I'm going to keep repurchasing these. So that is my comparison for the Beauty Blender. I love the Beauty Blender. It's a wonderful sponge, but for me, it's kind of like, can I really justify the $20 or even paying $25 for two of them when I'm more of a brush girl anyway? No. I'm really only grabbing this when I have that foundation that I just can't get right with a brush, and that's rare. So this one I use all the time for powder and for touching up like little pimples or little spots. So for $5, it's worth it, and it's, as you can see, it's very squishy. It's nice. So there you go. The Soho, New York, London, whatever, that's a long name with a lot of places. The London Soho, New York Beauty Sponge is, there you go, you can see the packaging. I kind of flattened the packaging because I took the plastic out of it, but it's latex free, and it's pretty much, you can find it at Walmart, Target, and I think Walgreens, and it's good. It's not as good, but it's good enough. Okay, that's my review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it helped somebody make a decision. Maybe that was kind of like, oh, is the beauty blender something I absolutely have to have? Hey, if you want to try it for 20 bucks, go ahead. You can always bring it back to Sephora, which is a horrible thing to say. But save your money and, you know, get this one. It's not bad. It's not as good, but it'll do the job. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for subscribing. If you've already subscribed, if you haven't, please do. Oh, and I do want to say thank you to all my new followers. I am just like, my heart is just like so full right now. Thank you so much. I'm just really touched. I'm just like, wow, thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I'm almost speechless. And thank you so much, Colleen, because I know a lot of this had to do with you, and I love you so much. Thank you for your video and for all the love and support you've been giving me. You're awesome. So I'm gonna let you guys go because this video is getting long and I can't seem to keep a video under 10 minutes. I don't know why, but I hope you all are doing wonderful, and I hope you all come back again tomorrow, and have a great night. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.